General Motors just announced their best month in history in electric car sales. But they say they are bracing for a drastic fall in sales next month. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. General Motors has been the number 2 EV brand in the United States this year, behind only Tesla. That position was reaffirmed in August 2025 with the automaker's best ever EV sales month. YouTube's new algorithm means that you're often not getting all of our videos in your feed. There's 7,500. I'm pretty sure you're probably not seeing a lot of them. In the description, there is a link to our newsletter. Click on that and you can get an update every day of all the latest news in the electric car industry. General Motors delivered more than 21,000 electric cars, surpassing its July record of 19,000. It's likely to surpass that number as well again in September. August was our best month ever for EV sales, and we expect that buying surge to pay long-term dividends given our industry-leading manufacturer loyalty and EV customers' overwhelming commitment to the technology, said Duncan Eldred, GM's North America president. Eldred acknowledged that the celebration would be short-lived, warning of a sharp slowdown in sales by the end of the year. Predictions are pretty wild. But before I get to those, speaking of predictions, do you guys remember when Mary Barra, was it about 2 years ago, predicted that General Motors, not predicted, she guaranteed General Motors would surpass Tesla's EV sales in 2025? She said that would happen. She said General Motors would sell 1 million electric cars in 2025. And a few times, I think she even did this on Oprah. And she even came on and said, yeah, we're going to beat Tesla in 2025. Yeah, so much for that. I mean, I remember that being kind of amusing at the time. But that said, still, credit to General Motors. They have definitely improved their lineup. They've got quite a few models. They're priced well. And I think they've done pretty much mostly all they could in terms of this year, getting those vehicles to market. They also have a new Chevy Bolt EV coming by the end of this year too. The $7,500 federal EV tax credit ends on the 30th of September 2025. This has created an emergency among buyers. Now, customers can still qualify if they have a binding contract and make at least one payment of some sort before the end of the month, even if delivery happens after the end of the month. We're expecting strong demand again in September, said GM. The question is, what's next? There's no doubt we'll see lower EV sales next quarter after tax credits end. And it may take several months for the market to normalize. We will almost certainly see a smaller EV market for a while, and we won't overproduce. As a result, General Motors has actually stopped production of some of its EVs, along with Volkswagen as well. Analysts expect a 27% decline in EV sales in the US once the tax credit disappears. 27%. That's equal to more than 300,000 fewer EV registrations annually. That's a big difference. Entry-level models like the Chevrolet Equinox EV, which can be purchased for under $30,000 with incentives, are expected to be hit the hardest. GM's EV hotspots: Equinox, Lyriq, and Sierra. Although General Motors did not release a breakdown of its August sales numbers, the sales record was driven by demand for its 3 key models. The affordable Equinox EV, GM's most affordable EV, will be soon joined by the next generation Chevy Bolt, which will be even cheaper. The Cadillac Lyriq 2026 model, the 2026 V model is incoming. This is GM's luxury crossover offering. GMC Sierra EV Denali Max Range, the company's electric pickup flagship. Apparently that's selling well too, which is kind of a surprise to me. It is a nice car, but it's certainly quite expensive. These vehicles, though, helped General Motors achieve momentum in August, but the end of incentives will disproportionately affect budget-conscious buyers of the Equinox EV, and also the Chevy Blazer, that could be affected as well. Reports have surfaced of production cuts at GM's Spring Hill, Tennessee plant, along with an indefinite delay of a second shift at an assembly facility near Kansas City that was preparing to build the new Bolt EV. In a statement, General Motors said it was making strategic production adjustments in alignment with expected slower EV industry growth and customer demand by leveraging our flexible internal combustion and EV manufacturing footprint. In other words, GM is preparing to lean more heavily on its high volume, money making internal combustion engine portfolio, full size pickups and SUVs. That's where GM makes money. Industry context, what's going on here? GM, they are not alone in facing big challenges. Rivian recently announced a 1.5% workforce cut, reflecting the industry-wide struggle to balance supply with softening demand. Now, speaking of workforce cuts, Germany, in the first 6 months of the year, 51,000 employees were fired in Germany in the automotive industry. So this is happening in numerous locations. Dealers too are showing a record pessimism about the future of EV sales. According to a new Cox Automotive survey, Jonathan Smoke, Cox chief economist, said this: "The outlook for future EV sales really comes as no surprise. Dealers have calendars too. They are very pessimistic right now." GM remains cautiously optimistic. While acknowledging a difficult adjustment period, they have pointed to opportunities for GM to expand EV market share once the dust settles. We're seeing marginal competitors dramatically scale back their products and plants, which should end much of the overproduction and irrational discounts we've seen in the marketplace, said GM. Now, GM's ability to balance EVs and internal combustion models gives it a buffer against short-term turbulence potentially. Still, the months following September 30 will test whether the company can sustain its EV momentum without the boost of federal subsidies. The other question is, how will GM be affected by some new vehicles coming from Tesla? The new Model Y L is likely to come, the new Model Y Performance, a cheaper version of the Model Y. These things could affect General Motors. Now, what do you guys think? Let me know what you think in the comments. And thanks for watching. General Motors, right? They just lost a hell of a lot of money. After writing down the value of their business in China the fourth quarter of last year and losing more than $5 billion as a result, General Motors has now reported a massive profit loss it claims is thanks to Donald Trump, $1.1 billion. So General Motors is literally hemorrhaging cash right now. They have just canceled their hydrogen factory, hydrogen fuel cells. It was meant to provide fuel cells for, I don't know, who knows what, some sort of imaginary hydrogen-powered future. That's been cancelled, fortunately. But GM did commit $900 million to new V8 engines.